So being a content creator here in the Hunter Call of the Wild, one of the most common questions that I get asked is what weapons you should be purchasing in order to spend your money as efficiently as possible. Now if you've ever played the Hunter Call of the Wild, you would know that weapons are extremely overpriced, but don't worry about nothing guys, because by the end of today's video you're going to know exactly what weapons that you should be purchasing in order to spend your money as efficiently as possible and get the best bang for your buck out of it. That's right guys, here in today's video we're going to be counting down the top 5 best weapons here in the Hunter Call of the Wild for the money. And just a quick disclaimer, almost all of the weapons, if not I believe every single one of them, are paid DLC. So leave a like down below and let me know in the comment section if you guys would like to see a non-DLC version of this video, as I would be more than willing to make one. But unfortunately all of the best weapons here in the Hunter Call of the Wild are paid DLC. Also, if you're brand new to the game and you'd like a little bit of extra help, feel free to join my Discord server, which is linked in the description for you guys. There are quite literally hundreds of people in there who'd be more than willing to help you out, and we're online pretty much all day every day. And if we don't reply literally within the first 10 minutes of you entering your message, we will most likely reply within 30 minutes or so. Considering there's only 200 to 300 people online on a daily basis, it's not going to be very difficult for us to see your message relatively quickly. So if you want fast answers to questions, obviously the comment section is also available down below, but the Discord server is also strongly suggested. And without further ado my friends, let's go ahead and dive right into today's video. Okay guys, so coming in at number 5 here in today's video is going to be the Johansson 450. Now you can find this weapon in the Hunter's Choice DLC that just came out with the last update. Now something that you're going to notice quite consistently in today's video is the fact that I'm covering a lot of class 4 to 8 rifles. And the reason that I'm doing this is because of the fact that class 4 to 8 is almost all of the deer species in the game, and classes 4 to 8 are just a lot of different common species that you might be hunting, and I would say that the most commonly used weapon in Call of the Wild is going to be a class 4 to 8 rifle. Now the 450 specifically is class 4 to 7, the expansion is 8.0, the recommended effective range is 150, but however you can 0 to 300, and I don't usually have any issues whatsoever. In fact, I shot my Great One fallow deer over on PlayStation before I made the switch to PC from 250 meters 0 to 300 with the Johansson 450, and it did an absolutely amazing job. Now when the Johansson 450 is fully reloaded, it holds 5 shots, which is very good for a bolt action rifle, considering a lot of them only chamber 3 or 4, so those extra follow-up shots are definitely going to be very helpful. Now we are going to be covering another weapon in today's video from the same DLC that you get this weapon in, which again is the new Hunter's Choice weapon DLC that just came out here a few months ago. So already right off the bat, the Hunter's Choice DLC is going to be a strong recommendation. Alrighty folks, so coming in at number 4 here on the top 5 best weapons for the money here in the Hunter Call of the Wild is going to be the Malamur 7mm Magnum. Now you can find this weapon in the Hunter Power Pack DLC, which also comes with the 338 and I believe the 308 bolt action if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but the only weapon that I really use quite consistently out of that DLC, considering the ammo for the 338 is way overpriced, is the Malamur 7mm Magnum here. Now as you can see, the 7mm Magnum polymer tip bullets are recommended for classes 4 to 9, so you get that one extra class there. The expansion is 12 and the penetration is 40. The 7mm Magnum is just a very overpowered caliber in general, by far one of my favorites in the entire game, in some cases even more than the 300, especially when I'm hunting deer like whitetail, fallow deer, mule deer, or any of those kind of mid-class deer I guess we can say. Now the reason that I would recommend this 7mm over the 7mm that comes base game is because of the fact that the 7mm that comes base game is not a bolt action, it is a single shot 7mm. Now I will show you that 7mm if I can find it. Here it is, the 7mm Empress Magnum, and it is 36,000 in-game dollars. I'm pretty sure this one also comes base game too, but these are both single shots, and with that one shot comes the downside of no follow-up shots, and even though that the Malamur 7mm Magnum only chambers 3 rounds, you still get those 2 extra follow-up shots, and trust me, you're gonna need them. Now the sound effects, the animations, and everything on this gun are just so amazing. I find myself using the Malamar 7mm all the time. I have a lot of friends who use it. I love it. All my friends love it. I know a lot of people who use it on a daily basis, and it is just overall a strongly suggested weapon. Okay, my friends, so those of you that came here looking for the best 7 to 9 rifles, good news for you, this is the first one of the video. Coming in at number 3 on the top 5 best weapons to purchase here in the Hunter Call of the Wild is going to be the Valgarita 375. Now, as you guys probably seen in the weapon wheel, this is a class 7 to 9 rifle, meaning that if you shoot an animal that is under class 7, you will not get trophy integrity. Now, you can find the Valgarita 375 in the Hunter's Choice Weapon DLC. Like I said at the beginning, with the 450, there's going to be 2 different weapons from the same DLC, with this weapon being the second one. If you're looking for an absolute brute of a weapon that doesn't have too crazy of recoil, as you guys can see, not too bad at all, especially when you have recoil management perks. While still maintaining accuracy, the 375 is most likely the weapon for you. Now, this is a weapon that I find myself using on a daily basis, whether I'm using it for my moose grind. I like to shoot my fallow deer that are obviously non-trophies with it, just because of the fact that it drops everything that you put in its sight. This weapon is actually mind-blowing how powerful it is, and the fact that it's not like a class 9 rifle only kind of blows my mind. As you guys can see, the penetration here for the 375 polymer tip bullets is 48. The recommended effective range is 200 meters, which is actually a little bit more than the average, which I believe is 150. The expansion is 15, and obviously, like I said, it is recommended that you only use it on a classes 7 to 9 to get full trophy integrity, because even if you hit vital organs, using a caliber with this much power is still going to mess up any trophy that isn't class 7 to 9. So the 375 chambers 4 rounds, which is pretty good. I believe that's the same amount as the 300 Caning Magnum, which everybody's using the Arzina 300 Magnum now because of that extra shot and the less recoil. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about that just here in a few minutes. 4 shots is usually all that I'll need. I don't really find myself using more than 4 shots, considering that if you hit it and it's a relatively decent shot, meaning at the minimum intestines, it's most likely going to go down. Now, if it's like a moose or a bison, you might have to track it for a minute. If you get a vital organ and it doesn't drop it, you're not going to be tracking whatever it is that you're shooting with it very far at all. If it's a fallow deer or a white-tailed deer, as long as you hit it, it's gonna drop pretty much instantly. I would strongly suggest this weapon and the Hunter's Choice Weapon DLC in general, as it is a pretty overpowered DLC, and you do get one more bonus weapon, not just the 450 and the 375 that we're not covering here in today's video. Okay, you guys, so coming in at number 2 here on today's list of the top 5 best weapons here in the Hunter Call of the Wild, or the best weapon DLC that I should probably say, is going to be just the Modern Rifles Hunting Pack in general. Obviously, mainly focusing on the Zarza 308 here. It's going to be another 4 to 8 rifle, so pretty much you're going to cover all those mid deer species with the option of black bear or moose if one ends up walking out in front of you, but obviously I would recommend a class 7 to 9 rifle for black bear or moose, as it's just going to take them down a million times easier. Now, when you buy the Modern Rifles DLC, you're also going to get the Zarza 223, which is probably the best 2 to 4 rifle in the game, considering it allows you to chamber 5 shots, unlike the 223 that comes base game. And not only are you getting a 223, but you're also going to be getting the Zarza, whoa, that was weird, the Zarza 22 LR Predator, which again allows you to chamber 5 shots, and it's just the overall really good 22 in general. Now, the one that comes base game does allow you to have 10 shots chambered at once, but it is a bolt action. I think it's a bolt action at least. You have to put a magazine in it. It's the 22 LR that comes base game if you guys want to go check it out for yourselves. All that I know is it comes with 10 shots, and I do use that one for my pheasant grind, but nonetheless, it still comes with the 22 LR Predator, and it's just the extra bonus to the Modern Rifles Hunting Pack in general. Now, like you guys seen a minute ago, all 3 of these weapons do allow you to chamber 5 rounds at once, which is obviously very good for those follow-up shots. And the weapon that I find myself using the most out of all 3 of the weapons in the Modern Rifles Hunting DLC is going to be the Zarza 308. Now, this is most of the time my go-to 4 to 8 rifle, and it's thousands of other players' go-to 4 to 8 rifle as well, considering the recoil is minimal, the accuracy is amazing, penetration is decent considering it's chambered in 308. As you can see, 44, the expansion is 13, and like I said, the recommended classes are 4 to 8. Overall, the Modern Rifles DLC is strongly suggested. I use it pretty much on a daily basis. A lot of my friends use it on a daily basis, and they all love it. My dad actually uses the Modern Rifles Hunting DLC. It is really a must-have, especially for beginner players. Like I said, the recoil is very minimal on all 3 weapons, and I would definitely suggest this one. Very very strongly for beginner players, or even if you've been playing for a while and you're looking to get another DLC. The weapons are overpowered, they're absolutely amazing, and having those 5 shots really does make a huge difference with the follow-ups. Okay, you guys, and coming in at number 1 as the number 1 best weapon here in the Hunter Call of the Wild, as many of you guys probably could have predicted, is obviously going to be the Arzina 300 Magnum. This is just the elite 7-9 rifle. If they made a 375 AR with as minimal recoil as this one has, I would obviously choose the 375. For a 300, that is amazing. This is 100% my go-to 7-9 rifle. Even more than the 375, I've just really been using the 375 a lot lately because it's relatively new, and it's a lot of fun to just see animals drop with it. But if you're looking for the best hunting experience, the Arzina 300 is going to be the number 1 7-9 rifle. And overall, just the number 1 rifle in the game. You can pretty much drop every single deer species with it, obviously if it's not a trophy. You can double lung moose fairly easily get moose heart shots with it, dropping them. I mean, black bear, name any species in the game. It would just be a menace to society if you shot a duck with it or something, but if you really wanted to, I'm not blaming you. I may or may not have shot a gray wolf with it. And it's literally just the perfect blend of sheer power without having too much recoil. It's obviously going to have some recoil, but it's very minimal compared to the other 7-9 rifles in the game. And it by far, and I mean by far, has the least recoil out of any 7-9 rifle in the entire game. Now, like I said, this is chambered in 300, which is a very good caliber. The expansion is 14, the penetration is 42, and like I said, it is recommended for classes 7 to 9, but I would say for 3,500 to 4,500 of my fallow kills over on PlayStation, I used this gun almost the entire time until the Hunter's Choice DLC came out and it was like the in thing, so I started switching to the 375 more often, but I still found myself using the Arzina 300 on a daily basis, and I still do on a daily basis. It's actually the very first weapon in my main loadout. And the plus side to using this 300 over the 300 bolt action is having that extra shot in your magazine, allowing you to get faster follow-ups, and obviously the recoil is going to make it so you can get faster follow-up shots as well. Overall, it is by far the best gun in the game, and you can find this in the high caliber hunting DLC, which I would strongly suggest getting. All the DLCs listed here in today's video are great options, and I would strongly suggest picking up every single one of them, maybe on sale if you're trying to get them for cheaper. Hey guys, if you enjoyed today's video or found it helpful in any way, shape, or form, definitely let me know down below by smashing that like button and subscribing, as it is much appreciated and is the number 1 thing that can help support the YouTube channel. Thank you guys all so much for watching. My name is Squid, and this is Squidster, and we'll see you later. Peace.